It's kind of interesting watching all these people on the news about this United Healthcare CEO getting killed. And first of all, it was interesting that so many of them were like, man, police aren't sure what a possible motive could be. I guess they had to act like that and pretend that no one could possibly imagine why the CEO of United Healthcare being killed would be some kind of a mystery motive. Those of us who have known people who've been screwed by United Healthcare, in the case of my brother who had to sue them to get his money, that they tried to keep his flexible spending account money and deny claims that were clearly stuff that was supposed to be covered. They've tried to steal so much money and actually have stolen so much money from so many people through the years that it's not really a mystery. I think all of us normal, everyday people, when we first heard that it happened, we weren't sitting there saying, gee, I wonder what the possible motive could be, I think we were all about 95% certain, barring some kind of really strange, bizarre situation, that we knew what it was, But it's interesting too now. My one of the friends I work with at the post office, his wife is a nurse, operates a heart-lung machine and all of that, and she was showing him some of the different comments from different healthcare workers and stuff on some of these forums talking about that. And he was talking about, man, he couldn't believe how excited and happy some of these people were about it. And I watched a couple of YouTube videos. You see some of these people like on CNN and so forth, and describing it basically as kind of like a gleeful feeling that a lot of people seem to have about this guy being killed, which does suck, okay? But they act like, oh, we just can't understand why they would have this kind of reaction. And I do realize that they're on national public TV and they have to act like that. Hopefully some of them at least are smart enough to recognize if they weren't on camera and didn't have to worry about being quoted on it, they probably would understand, why, and aren't that dumb, But it's interesting. The same people who aren't capable of understanding why people would have that kind of reaction to someone like him being shot. I'm not saying he should have been shot, or anything like that, but the same people who are amazed at people's reaction are the same people who are amazed that Donald Trump got elected, Some people out there, apparently a pretty hefty percentage of people, really don't have any clue what's going on in this country, and how sick and fed up people are in this country. A lot of that, Donald Trump figured out how to channel that and use it to get himself elected. And you can see the kind of people that he wants to put in his cabinet in different positions, and the way that people are reacting to that, looking forward to it. See him try and tear down some of these structures. People are just sick of things. They're sick of these massive corporations ripping them off, stealing their money. You can see the massive wealth transfer from the bottom 90% of the people in this country over the last 30, 40, 50 years to the upper 10%, trillions, tens of trillions of dollars. The income disparity is outrageous, And we can argue about the fact that maybe putting Donald Trump in there wasn't the best way to handle that, because, he's just going to cut taxes on all these big corporations and all his wealthy friends and stuff like that. And that's not really going to solve the problem for people who are getting denied their insurance claims and things, Really, as long as healthcare is a for-profit business, there's always going to be another CEO to come along and take the space of anybody that gets killed, It's kind of like a terrorist organization, You get rid of the top guy, another one pops up. And these corporations They are massive entities who do not give a damn about you or I, you know? A for-profit insurance company is interested in one thing, and that's making a profit. When you have a company taking tens or hundreds of billions of dollars of profit out of that healthcare system every year, when supposedly their job is to insure people and pay claims and help people get healthcare, you have to understand that they're not interested in you getting healthcare. That's not why they exist. They exist to make money. You know, even like auto insurance. You know, I personally think, you know, if it's something the government's going to mandate that you have, they probably ought to mandate that it's a not-for-profit thing too. You know, it's just a racket. It's just a total racket. You've got the government mandating that you have insurance on these things, you know, which is understandable, you know. It's nice if you have an accident and you're at fault for something that you've got insurance to cover it, instead of just telling the other person, sorry, you're SOL, you know. But on the other hand, this is something they make you have, and the insurance companies make billions and billions and billions of dollars in profit every year. And then along come the ambulance chasing attorneys. In most places in this country, it seems, I know for sure here in Orlando, you can't turn on the television on any station without these ambulance chasers begging you to let them sue someone for you, you know? So that's the other side of the equation. You got the politicians, you got the insurance companies, and then you got the attorneys who get rich suing the insurance companies. And they keep jacking up their rates to cover the losses from that, you know? The whole thing is a big giant racket. It's good we have lawyers and that you have the ability to be made whole if you have some kind of injury or damage. But obviously there's a ton of abuse in the system as well. Medical insurance, you know, obviously there's a limited amount of funds to do things. Even if it was a not-for-profit kind of thing, and you didn't have those corporations sucking out all those billions and billions of dollars in profits every year, still, there's going to be an upper limit to how much you can cover with things and pay for procedures. You know, but then the hospitals have to make money and stay in business too, you know? So someone's going to end up getting screwed always. There's going to be people who fall through the cracks. That's a very banal expression for people who are having their lives ripped apart and ruined, you know? But yeah, it's just exciting to me to see these people on the news acting like, well, it's a mystery. Who could have ever imagined? Who'd have thunk it, you know? What could possibly be the motive? And obviously that doesn't mean the fact that it's understandable why there are people who have the motivation to do such things doesn't mean it's right or that it should be done. But things have reached a boiling point in this country in a lot of ways. And there are a lot of people in the media, some of these politicians, and certainly some of these people in corporate America and the corporate world who just apparently have no clue what's going on. Of course, in the corporate world, they understand, they just don't give a crap, you know? Obviously, right now, in boardrooms all across America in the insurance industry, they're sitting around trying to say, how can we pretend we care so that this shit doesn't happen to us and we don't get shot in the back walking down the street someday? And yet at the same time, still deny as many claims as we possibly can and keep our profits from going down. For sure, they're going to be working on the public relations blitz to try and boost the image of the insurance industry. But every time I see a commercial on TV, you know, a product of United Healthcare or whatever, whether it's, you know, Medicare programs or whatever, different kinds of insurance, I'm always just like, oh wow, those thieves. I saw what my brother went through with them, you know. It was his money, his own money, in a flexible spending account that he had put in there. And still, the thing is, though, if you didn't use it by a certain date, United Healthcare, who was managing that stuff for the post office, I don't know if it's still that way, if you didn't use that money, you lost it, man. They got to keep that. It's just a total ripoff. So obviously they were going to do whatever they can, even though it's your money, not not in terms of just health insurance and trying to get it to pay for a procedure. It's your own money. You put it in their flexible spending account out of your paycheck, and still, instead of letting you roll that stuff over, which would be a very big help to most families here in America, they make you spend it or you lose it. United Healthcare gets to keep it, probably kick back a percentage to some of the politicians and other people that help them rig the system. Maybe they can't overtly kick it back. Maybe buy them a free cruise or something, But yeah, such a racket. There's so much of this. On the other hand, like I say, a lot of the people who are looking to Donald Trump to solve it, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because he's kind of like an agent of chaos and change, but he's a part of that world in a lot of ways. It's like you look at all the money, like people say, look at the money Elon Musk spent trying to get Trump and some of these other Republicans elected. Like how many, 227 million or whatever the figure was. And his net worth has gone up like 90 billion since the election. So at least, I don't know if those numbers are all true, but I wouldn't doubt it. He's in a position now to funnel things his way, business to his companies, his friends, all these people. They scratch each other's backs. And no matter who the little person votes for, your back's not going to be the one that gets scratched, I mean, it's like with insurance. You look at Medicare, Social Security. By the time they get through eliminating taxes on all their friends, and those funds all run out of money, well, gee, guess what? Sorry, guys, we're out of money. And all the money that they borrowed / stole from the, trust fund for Social Security and stuff, it's never coming back. So who knows? But I don't know how anyone could not understand what's going on or the feelings behind it, Those of us out here in the real world don't have any trouble at all understanding.